discuss about culture difference. If you heard the culture difference, what kind of image or impression comes to your mind? Maybe it is hard to define the same image. So we'd like to tell you that some example or some information about several countries. Maybe it will help you to understand culture difference. So through this presentation, we would like to give you several information which focus on the Asia and Europe and Africa. So before starting our presentation, let me just tell you how our presentation will carry on. Firstly, I will tell you some example and information about area of Asia, and then Hiromi will discuss about Europe, and finally, Maya will Africa. So if you have any questions, please leave them until the end of our presentation. And after Maya's presentation, we will give some quiz which relate with our presentation, and answers are included in our presentation, so listen to carefully. Okay, now let's get started. From now on, I will talk about cultural difference of Asia. And we picked up two countries because there's a lot of countries in Asia. So the reason why I chose these countries, most of the countries are really close to Japan, but even they are located really close to Japan, there are a lot of differences, cultural differences. So I chose both countries. Firstly, I will talk about characteristics of Chinese and Korean people. Firstly, Chinese people tend to make close friendship, close relationship among the people rather than the flat relationship. And they also have a high pride, so they hate to lose their place. But it's not seen that they are so cool, their identity is so cool. It seems to be cool, but if once you become friends with them, they will express their feeling or opinion openly, and they will give you the affection a lot. And the Korean people also has characteristics, which is they try to make deep and close friendship, same as Chinese people. But it does not mean that they are not negative, they are not passive. Actually, they express their feeling of opinion directly, and they are so positive. And however, they think when they talk with the older people or high-age people, they really care about how to speak with them. Like, if I am 20 and you are 20 and I'm 21, she will talk like respectable word. So it is big difference from the Japanese people. Up to now, I discussed about characteristics of Chinese people and Korean people. And from now on, I will talk about education difference between Japan and other countries. In Chinese, both of Chinese, China and Korean, the people think that the education is very important. So in China, China has the planning system of education. It means like they study really hard. They study really hard within the short term. It is the opposite system of Japan. And even though China has this system, there are also a lot of farm school, same as Japan. And surprisingly, in China, teachers has a dignity more than parents. Same as Korea. Korea also has Korean people think that education is really important, and Korean people also has Korean teachers also has dignity more than the parents. And surprisingly, physical punishments are accepted in Korea. Yeah, it is a big difference between Japan and Korea, I guess. Up to now, I discussed about education difference between Japan and other countries. So from now on, Hiromi will talk about Europe culture difference.
I mentioned Switzerland and Italy in Europe. Their cultures are different from Japan. In Switzerland, German, French, Italy, Romance languages are spoken. Therefore, Swiss people live with various cultures. They are very kind and responsible, but they are not so outgoing. Some people describe them very pessimistic and stubborn and shattered from a global age because they prefer to stay in peace. They are mostly Catholic, but recently the number of people who go to church are decreasing because a lot of people regard as their family, jobs, sports, cultures are more important than religion. In opposite to our image of peaceful Swiss, the usage of drugs is the highest country in Europe, especially among young teenagers. Next country is Italy. In Italy, there are different points of view from Japan. Italian people are very talkative and they prefer to say straightly what's on their mind. To say nothing is regarded as you think just nothing. Our modesty and reserve have nothing for Italy people. Our image of Italian people is generally cheerful, but it is said that southern people are cheerful, but northern people are quieter because of cold temperatures. We are very different from our life. For instance, the driving manners in Napoli is very bad. The traffic light is not important at all. If there are no traffic, they usually ignore and it is even more dangerous if you wait during the red light. They don't care to hit other cars during parking. And next I want to tell you about Africa.
I researched about African culture. In Africa, there are many countries, and each country have different culture and different language. Because African countries were colony of European countries, each country is influenced by European countries and their religion. In Egypt, bakshish is a well-known famous custom. Bakshish can be one of three things: a tip, money for favor, or a bribe. Tipping called bakshish in Egypt, and it's often regarded as a means of supplementing income. Bakshish is common custom in Islamic countries. There are many people place for bakshish in Egypt. For example, in front of toilets, around souvenir shops, even around the pyramid, everywhere in town. In Japan, there are no custom of giving tips, so for Japanese, bakshish is strange custom. In Africa, there are many small tribes, and each tribe has different culture. One of tribe has unbelievable custom. For example, Hamal tribe in Ethiopia. Married women have to change their hairstyle and have to wear necklace forever. The necklace is called binyate. Married woman cannot take it forever. This custom is very particular to African tribes. Okay, so we are coming to the end of presentation. Let me summarize the main points. Firstly, I have presented about cultural difference in Asian countries, which are China and Korea. Secondly, here we talked about differences between European countries, which are Switzerland and Italy. Thirdly, I talked about culture in African countries, which are Egypt and Ethiopia. In conclusion, we would like to say that there are a variety of culture over the world. All cultures are very interesting and very different from our culture. We thought Asian culture is similar to Japanese culture, but in fact, it's very different from our culture. We thought it so we should respect our culture, our own culture and understand other countries' culture. It is one of the ways to make good international relations. So we move to quiz time.
Okay. I will give the three questions. So question one is we talk about four countries. I focus on the China and Korea, and I say Korea and China and Japan has similar characteristics. Do you remember what kind of characteristics do they have? Aging importance, also respecting the older people. It is only for like Korean. Also, it is a similarity. Similarity part is we are trying to make a deep and close relationship. The next question is we discussed about the Swedish people's characteristics and what kind of characteristic Swedish people have.
Swiss.
They are in home rather than going out.
Finally, question three is Maya discussed about one of the tribe, the wife, and then a woman get married. What she have to do?
Change hair and make it split.
Thank you for your visit. If you have any questions, please raise your hand.
I want to ask you, Ayako, and you discussed Chinese and Korean education system. Do you know how long Chinese and Korean can have higher education? In Japan, we have to go to school 6 years from junior high to
That's my research. Maybe same as Japan, also Korea.
You talked about Korea, and do you mean it's South Korea? I believe that South Korea and North Korea have a different system.
Like in Africa, like, one of the tribes in Africa is where they have to wear necklace, right? Forever. Is it allowed to get divorced?
I haven't discussed.
Okay.
But maybe women cannot take the necklace, so it means they cannot do this.